Hey there. It's Pastor Steph, and it is time for my 2 cents. All right. Where my people's at? Where my girl Shontyce and my brother Ainsley? What's
What
going
up?
on,
What up?
y'all?
Hola, hola.
What's going on, brother Ainsley?
What up, Pastor Steph? What up, Shontyce? What up? It's been a minute.
Yes.
What up? I know.
And a hearty hello to Anika in the background.
Yes,
Hey,
yes, yes. We can't
Anika.
do it without her.
Yes. Thank you so much for ensuring, even though you're sick, you're still behind the scenes doing all this work.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's been a minute. Every time we turn around, it's another glitch, and then another glitch, and then another
Something
glitch.
else, right?
And I'm sick. Excuse me. Last week, it wasn't happening. But I'm grateful to God that we're here, we're back, and we're ready to rumble.
All right now. Right.
Oh, please.
Oh my gosh. So we chose this particular review period to work on 2 biopic movies, and it's about 2 young people, 2 ethnic minorities. So we were like on a whole roll with this. So we chose Unstoppable with Jennifer Lopez, and we chose The Fight Inside, and that's with Ryan Destiny. So which one we hitting first, Ames?
Let's do Unstoppable.
All righty. Well, you know we always got to start with reading our little synopsis, and we're going to go through, some of the faces. Some people you know, some people you don't know. Well, Unstoppable centers around the life of wrestler Anthony Robles. He started off in high school, and then he moved to college, and he was born with one leg and won a national championship back in 2011 while competing at Arizona State University. So this movie was actually starring a few faces that we do know. So we've got Jarrell Jerome, who plays Anthony Robles. We've got Jennifer Lopez, who plays his mom, Judy Robles. We've got another familiar face, Michael Pena, who plays Coach Bobby Williams. We've got a definite face we all know, Don
Mm-hmm.
Cheadle, who plays
Yes.
Coach Sean Charles. We've got another familiar face, Bobby Carnival, and he plays Rick Robles, his Anthony's stepdad. And we've got Michael T. Williamson, who plays Eddie, his boss. And if anybody knows anybody in the acting world, Michael T. Williamson, he's been laying behind in the cut for a while. So I definitely could not, run this list without including him. So, all right, Ames, you got first dibs on, what the highs of the movie Unstoppable. Again, another 2024 movie as we're highlighting ethnic minorities. What you got for us, Ames?
Well, I gotta say, I was totally unfamiliar with the story and whatnot. And to with Jennifer Lopez, I was like, I hope I'm going to like this. Hope there's not like another J Lo flick, so to speak. But I'm pleasantly surprised that I did like it. Um, One of the highlights actually is not so much with is this is a movie about perseverance and whatnot, and um, and also involves some scenes with domestic violence and stuff like that. Um, but one little thing that was like, it was a scene wherein it became evident that she was about to lose her house because the ex-husband, boyfriend, wasn't paying the mortgage, and she's able to find out that the mortgage was on a predatory lending. So
Mhm.
she's able to get, she made her own extension of 18 months a year.
Mhm.
So that was like a little highlight, because I was like, how's this going to go if y'all going to be out on the street anyway?
Right, right,
Everybody
right,
going to be out on the street, you know. Um, I like the dynamics with, with the camaraderie with the Arizona wrestling team, how they came together,
yeah,
rallied
yeah,
behind Anthony Robles. You know, it was like really, because off the time it was like he thought he was going to get cut. First of all, was he going to make it? It was in high school, you
right,
know. Then they make the decision. Should he go to the Drexler? They give him a full ride, but no, he wants to go. He's not getting an invite to go where he wants to go. So now he got to go
right,
on a walk-in to Arizona. And there's always this possibility he gonna get cut, but he still makes it. The first round, the second round, and it shows his perseverance. It pays off, and his teammates and the coach. Even the coach had to admit, I didn't see this coming.
right,
You
right.
know, so that was kind of the highlights. Generally the highlights of that. Of course, the biggest highlight is him winning the whole thing in the first place. I mean, I shouldn't go that far, but he does win. And I had to actually see,
Mhm.
was did this guy, I'm not familiar with him, Jarrell Jerome.
Really?
i- is he an amputee?
No, oh, so here's an interesting thing that I saw when I was pulling up this um this here. So Jerome Jerome is not an amputee. He's got both his legs, but the real Anthony Robles actually plays his double.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw it when I pulled up to read the synopsis because I was wondering the same thing. Now, check this out. Jarrell Jerome was born in the Bronx.
Mhm.
He's a
Boogie down
Bronxite.
Bronx. He's a
He's
Browns
a
boy.
Bronxite. And no, again, he's not an amputee, but, I guess using, Anthony Robles, the real Anthony Robles, they were able to get away with it, you know?
Yeah, because I was like, I mean, I know AI is good and everything like that, but I'm like, how in the world were they able to pull that off? All them scenes and whatnot,
Yeah, yeah,
the scene when they're going up the mountain, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, yo, what kind of camera work? I mean, is he real amputee or stuff like that? How was he able to pull it
Right,
off?
right, right,
And just go to shows you now, if the real Robles, he did it, how in shape he is.
right, right,
Do
right.
that
Because this
now.
is a true story.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Now you said you weren't really familiar with Jarrell Jerome, and he's got some credits behind him, not as many as others, but and not I don't know what you all would be familiar with, but
Well, let me see.
he played in Moonlight back in 2016. He was in Monster in
I went and watched that. Okay.
2018, and When They See Us.
Yes, that's what made him
Yeah,
the Central Park 5 movie.
yes.
That's
Oh,
what made
okay.
yeah.
So I figured that's what would people would recognize him from, those who saw actually the Central Park 5 movie.
Mhm.
Okay.
So okay, okay. Are you finished with your highlights?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Shontyce, what you got? What's your highlights?
What you got? What you got?
It was a really interesting movie. I was wondering the same thing. How did it look so real that he only had one leg? So to hear that the actual person played the stunt double was like, wow, and it really put me to shame because it's like, why you not working out again? One-legged man is climbing mountains. You need to be all the way ashamed of yourself. I like the storyline, as Ainsley said, it had everything to do with perseverance and endurance because he had to endure a lot from his father, watching the dynamic between his parents and wanting to do something, but kind of feeling like I need to play my position, but I know I need to do something. And still kind of taking over that, man of the house role, after a while. So how you are physically has nothing to do with what you're capable of doing mentally.
Right.
I definitely love the cast. Once I see Jennifer Lopez, she has one of those faces where I see her name or her face on a movie billboard. It makes me, even if I don't want to see it automatically, I'm interested in seeing what the movie is about. So once I saw them two, because it's both of them on the billboard, and he did such a phenomenal job. And when they see us, when they see us, it's like, okay, love Don Cheadle, love him.
Oh yeah. That's a draw right there to me.
Oh yes, I love me some Don Cheadle. The guy, I forgot his name, but the one who played his boss, love him.
Michael T. Williamson.
Yes,
That's Bubba.
Yes, I love him. One of the my favorite roles that he played was in Waiting to Exhale. He didn't have a really big role in that movie, but he did good in that. I liked him in that. So it was a really good cast. Everyone, whatever role they had, they played it well. And, again, just seeing how, because he was so determined to do what he needed to do, it was like almost nothing for that team to come together and say, we're going to do this for him.
Right.
He's willing to stick this out. And I don't know if I could have done it, because I'm about to give up probably. With both legs, but I love seeing that camaraderie, together. And his humbleness throughout the whole thing. He didn't expect any handouts. He knew he was going to have to work twice as hard, not to just prove things to other people, but, to himself, like, you're going to do what you're going to do. So I really like the movie. So overall, the highlight overall for me was the cast. The cast, I thought it was really well casted.
Okay. We got a shout out to Mama Harris. Hey, Mama Harris. Always love to see you in the room. Always love to see you in the room. Thank you for joining us today. Highlight for me. I'm actually a semi Jennifer Lopez fan. So, I wanted to see it. I did not find myself actually drawn to it, in anything in particular. But definitely when I read the storyline, my highlight was just the overall what they showed us from the beginning. So he's in high school. He has this desire to, be on a college wrestling team that has some wins behind them, who's known for winning. And Drexel actually offers him a complete full scholarship with room and board and everything. And he's waiting for Iowa State, and he doesn't want to take anything other than that. And you see after a while that Iowa State does not accept him, and he settles for Drexel. But then with the upset in the home, he ends up kind of falling back and going local, which, the whole concept of that was, we have to pay for this. This they're not offering you anything. And like you said, Ames, it's, it was a walk-on. So in other words, you got to try out. And Don Cheadle, the coach, explained to him from the very beginning, hey, we got people already here who've been offered scholarships, and I don't know how you gonna make this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that for me was very interesting from the very beginning, and to just see when school started, when freshman year started, he was determined
Yeah.
not to fall behind. So you see them running on the track, he's running on the track with his
Mm-hmm.
crutches and his one leg. You see them have to pick this huge barbell part, this weight from a set of weights, and they have
Yeah.
to run with this, and they have to pass it along, to each run, each
Mm-hmm.
track member, not track member, wrestling member.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was his turn, he has to hold his crutches. So he takes his t-shirt, he ties it, makes it
Around his
little
neck, yeah,
sleeve.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, but when he climbed the mountain, was just like, yo, anybody who complains, shut up.
I wanted to find the nearest mountain, Pastor Steph. Like, I said, I wanted to find the nearest mountain at that point. And he's gonna climb it. Like, this is sad for me.
Yeah, it
And
was
remember,
like,
he had to get there early before everybody else.
right, so he could get his head start.
Mm-hmm.
And they show him throughout, he's there at 5:30 in the morning, training, and and again, like you both, the camaraderie of the team, and how when they canceled the wrestling team from the school, they went a year like that, but when they came back, it was like all of us or none of us. And in that, he ended up getting a full scholarship.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
because the alumni, they said, wanted to see the wrestling team go forward. So I'm saying all this to say, you both mentioned perseverance, and this is a wonderful, wonderful uh example of, you just have to be determined to get this thing here done. Other than that, you might as well go sit down. Highlight, he was a role model to his brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
to the degree where the little brother says, well, when I pray at night, I pray that I wake up with one leg because I want to be like you.
Yeah.
That says a lot. It says a
It
lot,
does.
for your siblings to not feel like, why him, or jealous in any way because he's getting attention from mom, or
Right.
so it was really, several highlights in it for me. The relationship between him and the coach, and his Pena. I'm trying to, let me remember his name. The one who plays the other coach, his high school coach, Michael Pena.
Yeah.
And Nika, can you put Michael Pena's, do me a favor, just prepare, because I do want us to talk about the cast, because I do want us to talk about if we have any nominations. I do want us to talk about that. So if you can kind of load up some of those key people for us, so we talk about it, and you can have it ready when we finish doing, the downside. Hey, Teresa, thank you for joining us. We're talking about the movie Unstoppable with Jennifer Lopez and Jarrell Jerome. And, so I like the dynamic between him and his coach from high school, the coach from, what do you call it? From college.
Yeah.
So it's really it's a movie filled with highlights. You're not stuck. In other times we've watched movies and I'm like, okay, what's the highlights? And you two are like, let me think. Y'all couldn't even come up with any highlights.
Right, that part.
Movies. So this was really a good movie to watch in regards to, what are you made of? You got to really even assess yourself. It's like, am I complaining about stuff, and yet I'm looking here with this kid with one leg? So, all right, Ainsley, what about anything on the flip side? Any negatives?
Not negatives about the film itself, but one of those scenes that I was like, I want to say, yo, this person right here, what a low life. When the stepfather,
Mhm.
it's a scene that goes back, it plays
Oh,
back
oh.
when the mother goes out and he's in the car and he basically tells the kid, basically, I'm not your father.
Hmm.
I mean, no sense of tact, emotional concern, just that kind of thing.
Hmm.
That that's low. That's low.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, big time.
and yeah. Now, and to play a little bit, let's say devil's advocate at first. Now, I mean, being a stepfather. Now, if your kid now say has a free ride, room and board to go to college, and they talk about no, I want to go over here, which means then I'm gonna have to pay everything. Yeah, you can see that then I'd be like, wait a minute, hold up. We
Right,
got bills to pay here,
right, right.
which is a legitimate concern,
Hmm.
you know. But uh so he's the bad cop in this whole movie right here.
Yeah, nice
That
way to
even when
put
it
it.
start off, when it first start off, you can see the little animosity thing
Yeah,
going on, and I'm
yeah.
like, here we go. And then we see the signs of the domestic abuse thing like that. I was like, here we go, you know. So, but I think the lowest when he just, he kind of tells Anthony that he's not his father.
Hmm.
How he does it
Hmm.
is low.
Right.
I mean, that's the lowest right there.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, Shontyce, what you got?
That was love. And I knew that's where Ainsley was going. It was that for me, and it was when the stepfather kept challenging him, like a real man, like you ain't about to hit me like a real man. And you getting on this boy nerves. This boy wants to hit you. So it's like, why are you provoking him? And doing it in front of the other children, the verbal ways he was provoking him, the physical ways he was provoking him. It's like, because you can't provide, and now you're seeing how your son, because you've been with him since birth, your son is able to step up and do more than you. And as to now, here your son is able to blow you up because now your son just found out you got fired. Meanwhile, you acting like you still employed.
Right,
So
Hmm.
right.
all it's like, so now all this like extra animosity, but this is all your fault. This has nothing to do with
Exactly.
anybody else, not the wife, not the other children, not Anthony. This was all you. This was a you thing. So that would be the downfall. I agree. Not with the film itself, but just how his life was playing out. Like it's already hard for him as the oldest, as someone who probably has his off and on feelings of, oh, my mother has to tend to me more. I wouldn't want her to have to do that. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why his dynamic with his siblings was so strong, because it's like, I don't want it to be to where she has to always cater to me. I know she's going to worry about me more, regardless of how old I get and how little y'all are. Because if I was normal, I'd be out the way a
Right.
little more. But she has to care for me more than she even cares for y'all as the babies. And oh my goodness. And the scene where the father was looking for his phone and the little girl had it, and how scared she was
Yeah.
to even,
Yeah.
she had it. I was like, what are you
They were
doing to
trying to
these
cover up
kids?
for him. Yeah.
Yes, like what are you doing to these kids? That she was so, I thought she was about to say she broke it, or but she just had it to play a game and she was that scared. Like, what are you doing to these kids that's making them that intimidated? So just the father's aura overall was the downfall for me.
Hmm.
Okay. Hmm. I was trying to think of anything in addition to the two things you two brought up. Um, I am glad. I am glad that they did not make a huge deal out of it, but it was mentioned how he got like that with the one leg. Was it a birth defect? Was it an accident? Was it an illness that he became an amputee? And She talks about how he was born like that, and she's apologetic. Mom is apologetic. She speaks about a dynamic in her life where, she was like hanging out, and her mom tried to take him from her. And this
Right.
husband comes along later, and that's when she gets kind of serious, and he takes Anthony on as a son. So I was really glad that they touched on it. And it
Mhm.
wasn't like this long drawn out thing, or it wasn't where it was like, well, no, 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 you were born that way. And that's the only thing we heard. I think it
Mhm.
enhanced their relationship, the dynamic of their relationship. I think it enhanced even, more sympathy for her, because she says she blames herself, and that's just to live with this. If she's blaming herself, she's been living with this all this time.
Right. Right.
So, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, it was, I actually did appreciate that scene. I was trying to think of another area where outside of the father, where, it was something that, not
Well,
as
well,
great.
it was kind of maybe somewhat of a, not really a low in a sense, but you remember after the his junior year and he lost, right, and then when he came back and he spoke to his high school coach, and high school they was in the bleachers, and the high school coach was asking him, so why are you doing this?
Mhm.
Why are you doing this? And the response was, the answer was like after this match is over, that's it for him. Like this is the highlight of his life. Once
Right,
this happens, that's it.
right,
His future ends. So he's all in for this. This is his moment. Because after this,
right, right,
it seemed like there's no life for him after
right,
this.
right, right, right.
And in
Or
a
at least
sense,
the
that's
life
kind
of
of
that.
yeah, that's kind of
Mhm.
a low point. It's like okay, that's all you're living for. That's all. This is
Right,
it. And you're so
right,
young. What, 20 years old?
right, right. At the end of college.
Yeah, and this was a junior year because he wasn't even make it
Right,
to the actual final this time.
right,
But it was after he lost that first time.
right.
So
Well, it
that was
is
in my
something to
thing.
think about. It was something to think about, like you said, because most people say, especially athletes, Ains, they're like, "Oh, I'm doing this, and I want to go pro afterwards." Because remember the waiter, the guy
Oh
who
yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
it was like, "Yo, you want to go? You need to go to professional wrestling."
WWE, yeah.
Right, and
Get the
he's like,
girls, yeah.
nah, he was like, look at the girls are muscled up, and you can do this and you can do that, and you make all this money. Is $1 million real? Um, so I agree with you. To hear such a limited scope, it's like, okay, so then what happens after that? So I agree with you. It was kind of like a wow,
Hmm.
well, that's different, because everybody else generally, they are on to the big leagues after,
Right.
but he, like you said, she was short-sighted. Once college was done, that was it for him. He was not, pursuing it anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now you think about it, one highlight is actually it's not well, it's a statement that the mother she graduates, she gets her master's, and she actually becomes the dean of students at the college
Yes.
that where he went to.
Right. And he becomes the coach to his high
High
school.
school. Right, you're right, right.
So you, like you said, these are highlights. These are the things that happened
Hmm.
afterwards. Because this, had he another highlight when she was telling him, when they came inside from dealing with the mortgage issue. It was like, mom, you know, we got to get this together. You got to do something.
Hmm.
He would not let her, you know, stop. Listen, we're not. She's like, where we're gonna live? He was like, here. He didn't. That wasn't his line, but He's like, you got to do whatever you need to do to stop this.
Like, hello.
Right. It was just like,
stop. Wake up.
Right. So it just goes to show you that perseverance that he had for himself, he was a great push for the mother.
Yeah.
Really good push for her as well. So, any other comments?
I just think the movie was good overall.
We ain't got there yet.
I'm sorry.
We ain't got there yet. All right.
I'm glad you said it, because I was about to say it.
We ain't got there yet. All right, let's talk cast. All right, so we have Jennifer Lopez.
It's Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. Do we get a my 2 cents nod?
I give it to her, even though I was reluctant to be like Hellboy, but I gotta give her a point. She played her part well. She didn't overdo it. She played the part well, the character well. So I gotta give it to her. It wasn't understated, it wasn't overstated, it wasn't over the top. I give her props for that.
Okay. Shontyce, does she get a nod from you?
She did really well, but there are other movies that she's done exceptionally well. And considering we have other movies that were nominated for like leading role, female, or best female supportive, I wouldn't put her. Not for this role.
Okay. I beg to differ. I actually really liked her here. Considering, and it's funny because the very reason why you said I'm going in the opposite direction, she's played some very versatile roles. And, this was a down home role where, in my opinion, she could have lost her way, and like Ainsley said, overdid it. And I think she did well. I think she held her own well. I always think about biopic, movies. It's hard to play somebody. It's like, it's one thing when this role was just written, but you really got to do some character study. You've really got to meet with these people. You've got to exact what they were feeling, how they looked, and I think she brought it. I agree, she's done well. I happen to think she's a really good actor.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll give it to her. But I had to say though, she don't look like the real the mother. The picture that seen at the end, I was like, oh no.
No. Real mom looked older, actually. Yeah. So, she looked, much younger. But not only that, remember, we're looking at it in 2024. They showed us 2024 pictures.
Right.
It actually took place years ago.
Well, what? 20? Okay.
11. That's over 10 years.
Yeah, for some people, 10 years is a hard 10 years.
I gotta say, I gotta forget, the black don't crack, man. We do crack. Boy, do it crack. Over 10 years.
Not only that, let me tell you something. Don't underestimate domestic abuse and domestic violence.
Yeah, no doubt.
It'll age you. It'll make you look 150 years old.
No question. Agreed.
So we're looking at her, showing us pictures, of where she is now in 2024, 2023, 2024. But yet they were talking about something that took place like almost 15 years earlier and backwards. Because remember, in 2011, he won. So you're talking about all his high school. So mom was pretty young back then, and she could have looked a lot younger back then as well. So you're right. She didn't look much like mom, but mom looked a whole lot older than J-Lo here.
Yeah, I think they just need a better. That part could be too realistic.
All right.
Nobody want to watch the movie. Oh no.
She will never be able to emulate anyone's looks the way she did for Salinas. So Like once she did that, and it doesn't mean if she played another biopic that she wouldn't match, whoever. But that, I don't think she could ever outdo that right there. Yeah, that was just like too perfect.
I think also not only were her acting chops up, but I think she wasn't much different in age than Selena.
Right.
So that also helped her kind of, play the role well. So I think that helped a lot in that particular area. All right, let's talk about Jarrell Jerome, Anthony Robles. All right. So Jarrell Jerome, does he get a nod from you, leading actor, Shontyce, for the My 2 Cents Awards?
Yes. Okay. Yes, he does. Because even with him having the stunt double, whether it was the real Robles or not, the acting and everything was still on point. So he's a really, really good actor. Like I said, once he did When They See Us, that was everything started coming towards him for that.
Okay.
So he's really good. I would give him leading role nomination.
Okay. What about you, Ames?
Yeah, I give him a nod. I don't recall seeing when the other movie with the Central Park 5.
Oh yeah, you have to watch that.
Yeah, so but just going off of this right here, I'll give him a nod. Definitely, he did his thing. He definitely played the part because right from the very beginning, he was really intense. We need to be. Sometimes acting is not what you say; it's like your movement, what you don't say,
right,
and
right.
stuff like that. So he was definitely, you could feel like his frustration, his anger when against his father. How hurt he was with his mother, how sympathetic he was, or with his siblings, his brother, and how appreciative he was when the whole team rallied behind him and stuff like that.
Right.
He played everything really well. So I definitely would give him a nod.
Okay, all righty. All right, let's go for support. We've got Coach Michael Pena. Well, he's not Coach Michael Pena, but he plays the high school coach, Michael Pena. I love him. He has been in so many different movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does he get supporting actor from you, Shontyce?
Yes, he was good.
Okay.
He was good. He played that role of being that coach that stays on you even when you're not being governed by him anymore, and in support of the family. Yeah, I would give him nominee.
What about you, Ames?
It's a good question. Acting wise, on point, but it's like, is that role significant enough to really be a supporting actor?
Well, it depends on what we consider it to be.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, maybe a media role, but if we could, if that's what the we're the ones who, we can, we don't have to, but we can, because he did have a role large enough for.
Right. It's definitely was significant, definitely throughout. So in that sense, yeah, because after me, not to go ahead of it, because to me it was like, it's significant, but I would say Don Cheadle.
Hello.
Okay, I said I didn't want to go ahead of us.
Can you get there? Can you let us get there? All righty.
All right. I give him a nod.
Okay. Michael Pena. I think he did a nice job, and I think he represented. And I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all if he got that nod. I wouldn't mind at all. All right, let's hit Mr. Cheadle, Coach Don Cheadle. There you go. He's looking quite young here.
Yes.
Coach Don Charles. All right, Ainsley, so we'll start with you.
Is there anything need to be said?
well, you have to officially say it now.
All right. Yeah, of course. All right, come on. All right. Keep it moving. That's Dev. Yeah, of course.
All right. All right. Shontyce.
I think he was really good, but like what Ainsley was saying about the other coach, I don't think his role was big enough to be supporting actor. He played the role good, but it wasn't dynamic enough, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Don Cheadle. Now we have Don Cheadle. We said he was a supporting actor. We gave him that nod in Fight Night.
Oh yeah.
Now that
That's what I'm
was
saying.
deserving of a nomination.
I said,
Yes.
if you determine what that role meant to you. But here I wouldn't mind. Again, another one where I wouldn't mind if we gave him the nod because
Yeah,
he did his thing.
he definitely
As
did.
small as the role may have been for Don Cheadle,
Right.
That's true too. That's definitely true.
he did his thing. He brought it. He brought it. He brought it. We know Michael T. Williamson did not have anything significant, but no, put him up on the screen. Let everybody see who Michael T. There you go, Michael T.
I like them too.
Oh, Michael T.
Yes,
Oh,
Michael T. Williamson. He's been in the acting game for a long time.
mhm.
And I
Yeah.
would really like to see him in a media role where he could get a real nomination. He's definitely too small here to get a nomination, but I think he can handle a larger role. I don't know if he can do a leading role, but definitely a larger role.
I
think
think he definitely could do a leading role. Definitely do a leading role because
Okay.
he maxes out whatever he's playing. He maxes it
He
out.
does. He does. He does. He makes his presence known.
I think he could have gotten a good supporting role in The Purge.
Yes.
Purge, that he was good, really good in that, and the role was big enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Finally, we're talking about Unstoppable Overall. Click it or kick it. Ainsley. All right. We got a click from Ainsley. Shontyce. Click it or
I
kick it.
see. Click it.
All righty. And I give it a definite click it. So we got a unanimous click it. Nico, what was your vote? Normally you throw your vote in the ring. Where'd you go?
I think she's typing it in.
Oh, okay. All righty. Oh,
She's probably
she
going
said
for it.
click it.
It says
Click it. All right. Our next movie, The Fire Inside, starring Ryan Destiny. Shontyce, you got first dibs on this one. Highlights. Do not talk about the cast. We're coming back to the cast.
The movie highlights. Again, another biopic. It was really, I loved it because for the past few years, I've been into boxing and loving to watch. I always love behind the scenes things. And when you watch a biopic, you get in the behind the scenes just in movie form. I love the whole dynamic of watching this young girl stick to this sport because she loved it and because she knew like there was no doubt that she was going to be. She was a little arrogant, but no doubt.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Let me get our description. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, Shontyce, to interrupt you. Clarissa Shields becomes the first American woman to win a gold medal, only to learn that not all dreams are created equal. All righty. Continue, Shontyce. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So definitely loving to watch the whole, her coming of age plus becoming of the sport, the trials she went through with her mother being at home, her personal trauma that she endured. Love the dynamic between her and her coach. And when watching that, I just kept envisioning like I'm the boxer and God is the coach. And this sport, boxing is a sport where the coach is involved even while you're playing. Well, not playing, but while the match is going on. Other sports, you have the coach on the sideline, and you may huddle during the timeouts and all of that. But this sport, the coach is always so heavily engaged. And I love seeing that too, because it showed like that constant support that he was willing to give in and outside of the ring. So I just love the whole dynamic of the storyline. Really good.
All right, no other particular highlights?
Definitely loved how they showed how she lost at one point and then decided to stick to it and won. And again, showing that perseverance, showing that endurance. Another highlight was definitely seeing how others care about you. When she went to go sell that medal so that she could help her family, I was like, girl, what you doing? If y'all are homeless, you better keep that medal. That's something you could never get back. You could never get back. And thanks to that pawn shop owner not being greedy, and him being about community. He knew her family. So it's like, you know what? This little girl don't know what she's doing. And again, everyone took that as a win for the town, not just for her. Like, you're a role model. You sell this, now you're really going to revert back to, or even worse, so I loved that dynamic. That was definitely a highlight for me.
Okay. Ainsley, what you got? Highlights.
The highlight on this, again, this is one of those perseverance movies. Unlike Unstoppable, which does involve, the perseverance and the struggle. What this girl had, she had to struggle with, but it's not so much just her. It's because I have to say this though, like Unstoppable, they was in Arizona. In reality, that's on the other side of the fence. But us in Flint, so it's her. She's representing her family, the whole neighborhood, the whole community, the whole boxing gym. You got the whole world on your back on stuff like that. Just a little girl, and going through all her the struggles, what she had to go through to get to where she is, and it took all of that. I think to the very end when they offered her that $1,000, and eventually she had to come back and said, "Okay, I'll come back, but no, I need 3,000, just like what the men get."
Right.
And not just for me, but for all of the women on the team and stuff like that. So unless she had that feeling of struggle you representing, that's not, you got to take care of your whole family. It's not just selfish about me. Right. I'm worried about my family, my community, blah blah blah. Even the coach had to say, do you know how the name Flint came from? This is where you come from. This is a part of you. This is part of your DNA.
Right.
And so, without that ingrained in her, that made her to say, listen, I need that money, not just for me, but for everybody else.
Right.
So overall, I mean, that's, of course, the highlight is, of course, winning for the second time. Without getting into the characters. So, yeah.
All right. Anika says, yes, that was the part I love. She paid it for all female boxers to be treated the same as the men in terms of pay. Absolutely. Highlight was Coach seeing her struggle in being home, bringing her into his home, and the wife was on.
Mm-hmm.
Big highlight for me. How many women are gonna do that? You know, they watching out the side of their eye. Are they sleeping together? Is he looking at her? Is she looking at him? But she saw the vision, and she walked in that vision to the point where she was doing hair and friendly with her, and like a second mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was going to the prom, and who was right there? Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm that involved that I'm sharing in this moment with you. Highlight was when I don't know her role. The white woman, who was, she was kind of like the front runner of trying to get Clarissa noticed in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's part of the Olympic Committee or something like that.
Right. And she was behind the coach. When she could see that Clarissa wasn't fighting boxing the same way due to this other trainer, this professional Olympic trainer.
The sanction,
you know, she saw, you know, a coach in distress. She saw a fighter in distress, and she was like, come on, let's go. You know, to the point where she went down front and was just like, listen, I'll get you in. You know, I see
close enough, right?
Right. Again, I see the vision. I'm on board. I'm sharing in this goal, and whatever she needed to do, she did. She wasn't afraid to talk to Clarissa, you know, and tell her what she thought and how she felt. Highlight was when the coach, you know, he made the sacrifice to go to London with her. He couldn't make the sacrifice to go to China, but he made the sacrifice to go to London because he saw how essential this was. So, you know, and again, wife was on board. She's not sitting at home during the London boxing match.
Right.
She right there watching the match too. What's
going
on?
Cheering her on and hugging the son, and she's got her house full of people as well, like mom and dad do. And she was like so on board, and that had to be a blessing for Clarissa, because, you know, there was someone who actually saw what was needed and was willing to also make the sacrifice. She moved over, you know, to help this girl. Highlight was the fact that the community was not hesitant to let her know how proud they were of her, including the woman at the utility company, you know, where she went to pay, and she was like, I'll buy you, you know, congratulations. You know, it was just like you said, it was a win for everybody, you know. So things like that, you know, those were highlights for me. All right, Shontyce. On the flip side, wait, hold on. Anika says the wife was part of the community and saw the need. Absolutely. Shontyce, on the flip side.
On the flip side, again, like the previous movie, it wasn't due to the movie itself, but the story. These fathers, these slow remedial fathers, how are you in jail more than half this girl's life? You come home and you looking to benefit. Not only are you looking to benefit from anything, you now pressing this man and questioning him as to why doesn't she have any endorsements yet? Because he's like, we, who's the we?
I was so glad he asked that question. Oh, I was so glad.
Even with her mother being as dysfunctional as she was, she would have had a little more leg to stand on to question the coach than the father. You know, and she's limited.
Right.
Because if you were on point, your daughter wouldn't have had to stay at the coach's house.
Right.
You know, so, and she wouldn't have endured the trauma that she did if you were on point. But you ain't been around at all. You haven't provided at all. Here, this man, like he said, he's missing shifts, all of that, just so he could train her and attend these matches and all of that. And it wasn't a complaint. It was just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And now you come in and he's doing his due diligence for free, calling these companies, going in for in-person meetings, all of that, getting the door slammed in his face, all of that. And you gonna press him at a bar where you probably couldn't even buy your drink.
No, that's why he said this one is on me too.
He said this one's on me. You ain't slide the money back. So
right.
You were hoping to go with your last bit of money where somebody will buy you something. And I'm just like, the nerve. Like, where do people get the courage to do these things? It's like we don't have the courage to do the things we're really capable of doing in a positive manner. But we always seem to get the courage to be slow and remedial in the public. And it's like, why? But because you know you had nothing to do with this. If your daughter looked like she's good, you figuring the people are going to contribute it to the family. Y'all are from this small town. Everybody knows. So everybody knows her. You don't think everybody knows her family dynamic? You know? So I would say that was the downfall. Again, not the movie. Just in this girl's story. It's just like, what?
All right, Ains, what you got?
Yeah, to me, there's several, not in a movie, but the lows, if you will. There's several in there, which makes her overcoming so much more appreciative. You know, as we mentioned, the parents. You know, first the father. You come out of jail, and now all of a sudden, you gonna stand up. It's my daughter, and she going to the Olympics. Ooh, like you have something to do with it.
Right.
Are you taking credit? You know, like you showed her how to box. Really? You ain't did nothing. And even the mom, even they were at the utility, yeah, I'm her mom. Like you have something to do with it.
Right.
You kick your own daughter out the house.
Yep. No, but
how do you help?
Wait.
The kids got to put water in the cereal.
Wait, no, hold on, Ains, before you go any further. How you brag about this, my daughter? And she said, I want to pay my mother's duty.
Right.
And you gonna brag that this is your daughter? I would have been an auntie, a neighbor.
Yeah. I mean, so both of the parents, I'm like, really? And I don't know if y'all probably saw it too. Like from the very top, from the very beginning, the one who plays the younger girl when she first goes into the gym, and she actually, fights the young boy on one, and the coach goes, yeah, and he goes try to hug her, and she comes back.
Yes.
Right there, you get to see, like, okay, something is up with her. She don't want that kind of, something is up with that physical attention and stuff like that. So you see there's something wrong in there.
Right.
And also you see how much appreciative later on, it says 5 years later, she does respond to, she does accept the hug, and how much she really appreciates his encouragement, saying, you go and stuff like that. How much it means to her, Right. Another downfall, it was like, I guess for the whole money, I guess they were trying to sell her name and likeness and stuff like that in the car, and he counts some money. He said, all right, here's your $430. And she's like, $430? Your cut is supposed to be 10%. And he was like, what? 10%?
Right.
I'm the lawyer, the manager. I'm doing all of this here. And like, you getting mouth now? You living in my house? Are you serious? All I'm doing for you, I'm still just giving you half? It's like that ungratefulness. And then it comes to the head in the house when he says, you embarrassed me today, and you gonna catch a mouth, and like you gonna leave out after all I did with you? I mean, like, that's that stubbornness, can't tell you nothing kind of stuff. It's like, when you gonna learn?
Right.
So that was a low. Eventually, of course, they overcame that. But that's one of those points. Is like, are you serious, young lady?
Right, right, right. Because that was too
Okay.
much attitude for me. Way
Yeah, yeah,
too much attitude for me.
yeah. You might. I say, hold up. He ain't throw you out right then and there.
Right,
Cause you
right,
want to say you want to leave. He ain't kick you out. You said I'm leaving.
right. I was like, no, this
But
here,
and even then, even when she left out, she said, to I forgot the wife's name. She said,
Mickey.
I'm not mad at you.
Right, right.
Yeah, nothing to do with it. She's still good with the his wife,
Right.
but she left.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That was one of my negatives. Just way too much attitude. I just can't take it. I have seen so. It seems like over these last few years, all they show are movies with ungrateful kids. Everybody mad and got attitude, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the problem? Like you said, he took her out your mama's house of the guy trying to, you know, do something you felt uncomfortable. Mom didn't like the way you handled it and told you to leave. You walk in the street, he comes to find you, takes you in, houses you, feeds you, and
Give you
you
keys to the house.
right, and you got lip. You got lip about how much he get. When she did the thing about the money, and when she was sitting in the car, I'm like, you lucky he's giving you anything. Because when you look at the record companies and the people don't get no money, and the first thing they say is, listen, we paid for cars and your food and your hotel stay and your this. He didn't nickel and dime her like that.
Right.
And
Exactly.
you're angry because he did not give you more than 10%. Or him taking 10% off the top. You're my agent. Is that all you saw in all that he did and all who he was? Is that all you saw? You went to a gym for free. You never had to pay. The training was free.
Right. Right.
So it's like, why I'm so angry, because my question becomes, why do I always have to spell out what you should be grateful for? Why? You can't figure this out. You can't figure out the man that took you in and fed you, housed you, and did all of this for you, but I gotta say it to you. It's like, yo, how selfish and ungrateful are we that we just miss these things altogether? And if I had to really pick a downside, that was my downside. Just her attitude, off and on throughout, this this movie. Now the other dynamic was, Robles, Anthony, in Unstoppable, he worked. She didn't work nowhere. She didn't work anywhere.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to, with one leg. He's humble.
He cleaning planes. He get up on the wing.
I'm about to say, he on the side of the plane.
Okay.
With one leg.
And here you are with both hands and both feet, and you got attitude. So, and he didn't have no better life than her.
Right.
They
both struggle.
Right. It just goes to show you your mindset. Where are you going to land when all of this is over? The other part, again, like you said, Ainsley, I was looking at the parents, and like I said, that's why I had to stick a pin in that, because when she said that, oh yeah, this is my daughter, I would say, did she just say she was standing there paying your bill? When shut up.
Yeah.
Do you really want to tell somebody that's your daughter and she paying your bill?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And she gonna take on the world next.
Again, like you said, no thanks to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, those were like the father with his attitude and his pressing, the whole thing with the what do you call the trainer, Ainsley? The one who was approved?
Sanction.
I was like, yo, really? These people don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, for why you could just sponsor these people's coach.
Right.
They're the ones that got them there. You don't,
Right.
especially when it comes to this boxing thing, because it's so personal.
Right.
Why don't you sponsor their coaches? Because that's someone who you know and who knows you. These sanctioned people, they can't even really coach because they don't know who you are, your capabilities from afar. They don't really know what makes you tick. And
Right. They're only coach for the moment. They're not the coach for life.
Right. And he knew exactly what terms to use. He knew where to get her to the point where she was like hearing him, almost like I can hear you in my head type of thing.
Exactly. Because in the matches, she was like, all she wanted to know, she was like, what I gotta do?
What do I do? Right. What do I do?
Just give me information,
Yes. So she was like, she told her something. She was like, breathe. She was like, okay, and then what do I do? It's like you could tell that this sanctioned person had nothing for her. So again, she had to fight for her rights in the pay area and for the rights of others. So again, that's a downside to this whole arena of females in the industry. So those are the top highlights that come to my mind. All right, any other comments before we hit the cast? All right, Anika, I hope you're loaded. Ryan Destiny. Shontyce.
I love her from Star, the series Star. She's a good actress. I think she played this role really well. It was good to see her in a more edgier role because on Star she's so prissy and everything is about singing and dancing and love interest. So it was good to show that she can be versatile in this manner. And especially still as a young actress. So it's like, yes, girl, please don't let them have you fall into that stereotype because you're pretty. You'll just be the love interest in everything that you play. Please. So it was good to see her in this. And the real Clarissa shows, they were interviewing her really quick on somebody's red carpet and they asked her about, like, what does she think? And she was like, oh, Ryan Destiny, I love her. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh my goodness. She was really pleased with the job she did as portraying her. So that was a plus. That, because for the most part, a lot of times they do these biopic movies without the consent of these people, and it's like, how are you playing these people's lives? They approve of it, so you couldn't talk to them to see what they said.
Right.
Like it's like, how does this work? So it was really good to hear that. But she did her thing in this.
All right. Ainsley, does Ryan Destiny get the nod for my 2 cents?
Yeah, she definitely does. I don't remember her in the other movies that she played in. But definitely she does get the nod. She definitely get a nod for this. I think rather well done, because watching her, all I see is this young boxer. I don't see nobody else. She's really playing a part. So, so she definitely gets the nod.
Okay. Thumbs up for me. She did a fantastic job playing this tomboyish boxer, and she was not that prissy girl. So she definitely did her thing, in my opinion. And I was glad to see her, and her, meaning somebody who's very pretty, very feminine, actually play this role opposed to getting someone who's harder.
Right.
It shows her versatility, and I think she's going to be open up to more and more roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, they're going to give her. I want to go back before I go forward. And Nika said there's always a Johnny come lately, the father. People tend to forget all that is done for them when they get to a point they feel like they have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say me too for Ryan. All righty. Next, supporting actor Brian Tyree Henry, who plays Coach Jason Crutchfield. What say you, Shontyce?
He did really, really, really good. Really good with being, that coach that loves to work with the children. Like, I love this sport, but I want to work with the babies and assist in really cultivating them and bringing them up. So even if they go to someone else after me, I help them get their start. I helped to set the foundation. Like, he was he played that role of a real good foundation setter. I love how he was able to like switch up with I'm real passive until you get me there. And then, I still don't go overboard, but I may just have to let you know a few things, remind you of a few things. I really loved how he was able to break that down to her, like with I'm missing shifts, I'm actually losing money if you want to get technical and da-da-da-da. So he really played the role. This was perfect for the didn't go overboard. Because it could have been when it was his, time for his character to get upset. It would have been like, all right, that wasn't good. You're putting a lot on it. Okay, all right. It wasn't it's not that serious feeling. It was like he hit it just right.
Okay.
And then when it was time to tone down again, he was able to tone down. So I really, really like that.
Okay. What about you, Ains?
Brian Tyree Henry. I gotta say this. I'm so glad to see him do so well in this particular role, this particular character. To me, I don't even see this as like almost as a supporting actor. To me, it's like he's like a lead actor.
Yeah.
Even though the story is about Clarissa, I have to give him that.
Okay.
I was really pleasantly surprised. Because most of the time, I'm used to seeing him in that comedic drama kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm expecting the laugh kind of thing, but to see him more in a serious role like this, and he really did it really, really well. To me, he makes an otherwise good movie and a much even better movie.
I like
so that. I gotta give some serious props for it. I was really, I was kind of, I'm expecting to see, certain kind of roles I see him doing in stuff like that. It was good to see that. Okay, I didn't see none of that. I saw the coach, the concerned coach, man who's got to work for his family. I'm giving all I can for you. I ain't got to do this.
Right.
Anyway, cause my heart is there. And he pulls it off really. I really like how he did it. So I give him nods up.
All right. So are you pushing him forward to leading actor?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can get with that one. I can get with that. Brian Tyree Henry. I knew him. Did not know his name. I know his name now. Name now. And I can definitely agree. I would give him that nudge forward to give him a nomination, a nod for lead actor here, because his role was just as essential as Ryan Destiny's. So I would say definitely, absolutely. I gotta tell you, we've got some other people, but I don't see them even as significant enough to even push them forward.
Really?
I would say, I'm gonna get his name here now. And Nika, pull this up for me, please. I would like to talk about the one who played Zay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one who played her love interest.
Idrissa Sanogo?
I'm sorry.
That's his name.
Yes, yes. Idrissa Sanago, whatever that is. I'm trying to see what else he was in. He I'm not I'm not seeing anything that I would recognize him in at all. No, I don't see him. But you know what about him, Shontyce? Is there room for him somewhere in a nomination?
He was pretty good, but I don't see nominee worthy. The character wasn't strong enough for it to be, a nominee. For him to be up for a nomination. But he played the character well.
Okay. All right. What about you, Ames?
I can give him a nod. I'll give him a nod. Cause he played it, he played his part. I give it to him.
Okay.
I can't knock it, because it was he was there throughout the whole. He was really pretty much out throughout the whole movie. So, I'll give him a nod.
Okay. Anika says, I've seen him before, but don't remember where. He was very good in this one. Are we talking about Brian Tyree?
Yes, she was talking about Brian Tyree.
Okay. I would like to see us do a category for young people. And for him, I would put him in it. I think for his role throughout this here, he's actually a lot more nice looking in this picture than he was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely give him a nod. I think the level of his role, he did well. He didn't get lost. We didn't forget about him. I think he carried it well. And I think he's worthy of getting something, of getting that notice here. So I'm definitely down for giving him that nod. Okay. You got the brother and the sister. The sister got on my last nerve.
Yeah, nah, Rihanna and
yeah. I didn't care for her person in the movie, but here we go. Click it or kick it. Shontyce, The Fire Inside.
I'd say click it.
Okay. All right. All right, Ainsley says click it. I go for number 3. Click it. Definitely clicking it. I think they did a fantastic job on this biopic as well. So we've got a unanimous click it. Anika, what's your vote?
She's saying click it.
Yeah. Okay, click it. All right. So we've got some nominations. Anika, I hope you were writing those things down that we were saying in regards to the nominees for The Fire Inside as well as Unstoppable. Guess what I stumbled on, y'all?
What's that?
The 3rd season of Reasonable Doubt.
When does it start? Because
It started. Yeah. I started watching the first bit of it because I couldn't really tell whether it was. I was like, this has to be season 3, but I was maybe season 4. But when I looked, I was like, no, this is straight season 3. I say, are we available next week, Ains?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So we're gonna go with Reasonable Doubt, and I'm gonna give another movie for 2024. So those will be the 2 reviews that we do. So I'll text you the I'll put in to the group a couple of movies for us to vote on, but definitely Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt is back. I've been waiting to see the date.
All right now.
It's been a year.
Yes, it's been a year.
So I'm like,
I was
what's going
doubting
on?
Reasonable Doubt was coming back.
I did too, but I heard that they were approved.
No, they said it because John Sokoa is supposed to be on this season.
Yes, so I knew that they were approved, but I was like, what's taking so long? So I don't know how many episodes. Anika, as we're closing, do me a favor, please. Find out how many episodes have already aired. But like as she's finding that out, so that's what we'll do for next week. Also,
that's an easy binge watch.
Yes. Tuesday morning, Ainsley, I'd like to do Ruth and Boaz on my Tuesday morning.
All right.
So everybody listen, we've got my 2 cents coming to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph on Tuesday morning, and it will be Shontyce, Ainsley, myself, Pastor Vinny, Pastor Brenda, Pastor KL. We're going to be loaded. Oh, it just started. It just started today.
What just started today?
Oh, no, it's 4 episodes as of today.
4 episodes as of today.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to do those 4. How about because normally we do 4 at a time?
Yes.
I think we did 2, but I'm not doing all 4 because that's easy. Because
no, it might be too much to talk about. So that's too much to talk about. So let's do 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you got a whole lot to talk about, Ainsley.
But then what after that? Then what? We got like 1 episode to talk about.
No, but because remember, it's 4 as of today. So next week there'll be another episode.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about 3. So when we come back, it'll be time for 3 again.
All right. Okay.
All right. So again, let's do this review. As of this upcoming Tuesday morning on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, right here on this YouTube channel, A Closer Look Christian Media Network, we will be reviewing Ruth and Boaz from Netflix. It's a Tyler Perry and what's his name?
Devon Franklin.
They've produced this movie straight to Netflix, so we'll be reviewing that. And as of next week, Thursday, we will be reviewing episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 3 of Reasonable Doubt. Yes! And we will decide on the movie that we will be reviewing. So I don't know about y'all. I cannot wait to get into Reasonable Doubt. Listen, I won't spoil it for you, but it starts off with a bang.
Of course, it has to the way season 2 ended. It can't start off slow.
Yeah, that's how I would do. First, when season 1 ended, and going in season 2. Yeah,
right. Season 2 started with a bang.
Yeah, so that's how I got to start off with.
Yes. So thank you all for watching. Tell a friend. Go grab your popcorn. Go grab your goodies and meet us next week, Tuesday morning on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. So grab your healthy breakfast at that point, but make sure you shop for those goodies for next week, Thursday. Reasonable Doubt, y'all. Get ready. Until then, it's your girl, Pastor Steph.
Shontyce.
It's that broken guy, Ainsley Harris.
All right, and your girl, Anika. Thank you so much. Feel better, Anika. All right.
Definitely, girl.
Yes. See you in the morning on It's Due Time. The 3 of us will be on in the morning.
Not
Shontyce. Me. Ainsley.
Yes.
So make sure you catch us in the morning for Freestyle Friday.